Yo guys, what is going on? Got some more BT9 gameplay for you guys. Rogue matchups this time. Grandrac on the right versus my favorite deck in the game is going to be ShineGreymon on the left. So pretty strong starts by both players. Over on the right, we see Dracmon plus Sangloopmon. If you're not really familiar with what the deck does, it basically revolves around evolving your Digimon from the trash. So you kind of need to set up your trash beforehand, which is why stuff like this Dracmon is good, the BT9 Dracmon. Over on the left, I'm just going to set up with the TK, grabbing the Patamon there. So pretty strong start, setting me to 3, as well as getting a plus off of that. Dracmon's going to get a +1 in the hand, and then set up with the Black Gatomon in the trash, which is actually a really strong ability, being able to gain the rush effect. Evolving from the trash on top of level 3 and then getting rush is really solid. And then we're going to go ahead and then just evolve into Pidomon and play the Cody for a cost of 3, choking our opponent to 1, hitting a ShineGreymon in security. So of course the Dracmon is going to die. And then we see the Matadormon for the evolve there in the breeding. I'm going to go ahead and start with 4 since I am going to promote the Pidomon. Pidomon is going to go ahead and evolve into Rise for 3. Rise will then play us the copy of TK Izzy, a really strong dual tamer, allowing you to gain a memory depending on who controls a level 5 or higher Digimon. Then I'm going to play the memory boost, revealing the top 4 cards of the deck, revealing a Sakuyamon as well as some more consistency cards and the Rise Greymon. I'm going to grab the Pulsemon eventually and then trigger the draw 1 off of the Viximon. Sakuyamon's really solid against all the 1-stack decks, which is definitely why I would recommend playing it in any sort of yellow build, but unfortunately just not too strong against the Grandrac matchup. Of course, you're not really teching for that, it's a super rogue deck, but so this is more of a fun matchup for sure. So Matadormon is going to be able to use his ability, so paired with the Sangloopmon, it's a really strong combo. Matador on attack lets you discard a card to gain plus 3000 DP for the turn. And then whenever he would evolve into one of the dark animal Digimon, so like a Grandracmon or a Gulfmon like we see there, you get to reduce the cost by 1. Of course, going to be able to draw 1 off the Tsunamon discard, and then Sangloopmon will let you just Digivolve straight into the one of the dark animals from your trash for its evolution cost. Of course, reducing that by 1. So we are going to Digivolve into the Gulfmon that we just pitched. Gulfmon on Evolve is a really interesting card. It came out at EX2. Basically says that on Evolve you both have to discard cards until you have 5 in hand, I believe. So at this point it is a little bit detrimental for me, since I did spend a little bit of my early game gaining that advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and discard 2 cards there. For my opponent, of course, it's not necessarily as bad, because he gets to load up his trash with the cards that he wants to be able to bring back in a following turn. So we are going to go ahead and discard 3. And then of course Gulfmon also has the other effect where I think if your hand is reduced or something, you get to unsuspend it. So we are going to go ahead and unsuspend. He's going to hit a Sunrise Buster in security, which is really powerful. Going to be able to play the dual tamer off of that, and then our opponent is just going to pass. Of course, Sunrise Buster does give minus 3000 for each tamer we have, so there would have been minus 12,000, but remember that the Gulfmon was boosted to 15k with the Matador effect. So we are going to go ahead and start with 7 memory because of our Cody, TK Izzy, as well as Taikari. I'm then going to go ahead and delete the Gulfmon there. So we're going to go ahead and swing ShineGreymon. Of course, double security checks because of the Rise Greymon Inherited is just so powerful. And then going to pass things off with a reinforced memory boost, taking the Rapidmon, putting a yellow memory boost on top. And then, of course, since I did play an option card, I'm going to be able to draw off of the Viximon. I really love the Viximon engine in this sort of slower paced yellow deck, because I'm playing a lot of options. It definitely just helps you gain advantage very quickly. So we are going to see the Sangloopmon and then Matadormon perfect stack once again. Going to go ahead and draw. Going to gain 2 off Taikari because we're both at 3 or less, and then 1 off of both Cody and then TK Izzy. So going to start with a billion memory. Going to check 2 off the ShineGreymon. Of course, promoting the Pulsemon as well. Going to Digivolve into the Pidomon. I think right here I was digging for hybrids. Realistically, I just need 1 to be able to close out the game, but I'm not sure if I had 1 at this point. So we're going to go ahead, Digivolve on up into the Red Rise Greymon effect to play a tamer. Going to play another copy of TK Kari. ShineGreymon X Antibody is going to fill our field up with yet another Tamer. So this deck, it can have really explosive turns like that. Of course, the main glaring downside is that this deck just like hard loses to Dexmon. It's really, really tough for any deck that does play Dexmon. Of course, being the Grandracmon matchup funny enough, but basically any like purple deck or any sort of D-Reaper strategy, whatever. So we are unfortunately going to hit a Jack Rate and Security, putting our opponent to 2, but that's definitely okay. I don't think he'll be able to clear our entire board. However, his deck does have the ability to put up retaliation blockers, so something like that might be a little bit annoying to deal with, but I definitely do have the tools at my disposal to be able to get rid of him. So Matadormon is going to attack into the Shine, of course, going to be able to discard a card to boost 3,000. I'm going to be able to then evolve off of the Sanglutmon into a Digimon on his trash, and then draw one card off of the Tsunamon there. So we see the Dex Dorugoramon is one of the options. I forgot what it does on evolve. I think it deletes something with the lowest level, but it's a really, really strong card as well. But instead, we're just going to see Grandracmon Digivolve for a 3 cost essentially because of the Matadormon. And then on evolve, it's going to be able to play the Dracmon, and then Dracmon does indeed get its on play effect. So we're going to reveal the top 3, and unfortunately not hitting anything that we can really use because all of those cards are, or none of those cards are like Dark Animals or Beast or whatever. So then going to eventually hit into the ShineGreymon, that's going to be deleted, and then end of attack you get to then Digivolve into a Digimon into your trash. So then by paying no cost, we get to Digivolve into the Dex Dorugoramon, or Dex Dorugamon. You guys know which one I mean. The level 4 retaliation blocker, and then of course being able to gain a memory off the discard effect is really powerful as well, especially since you didn't discard, or since you didn't like pay for its evolution, you just get a +1 memory. So then we got retaliation blocker on field. Unfortunately, he does need one more block, or at least be able to kill one more thing on my field to guarantee himself to not lose this next turn. Lastly, we're just going to go ahead and Digivolve into the Dex Dorugoramon for a cost of 4, and then just discarding something to gain the memory. It does delete a level 4 lower if it's got Dorugray or is evolving from the trash, so it technically shouldn't have deleted the Pulsemon there since it had neither of those conditions. I do apologize about that, guys. It's not actually going to matter whatsoever because I'm just going to swing ShineGreymon, and then he's going to block, and I'm going to hybrid him anyway. So, but do apologize for that little bit of misplay. Reading is hard, guys, especially for former Yu-Gi-Oh players. You kind of got to just get used to knowing what everything does in this game. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with game 2. I'm going to start with a typical just Pulsemon into Pedo, and then our opponent is going to start Labramon into the Dracmon. They're again revealing 3, this time hitting 2 targets, so he's probably going to want to leave that Dex Dorugora in trash and then add the Dorugray, and then Eismon will go at the bottom of the deck. So leaving me with 2 memory, we're going to just go ahead and Digivolve into the ShineGreymon. A similar start to a last game, but then this time we'll just be able to play the Cody for a 0 cost, putting my opponent to 1 here. So Dracmon is going to swing into security, hitting a ShineGreymon, dying, and then hitting a yellow memory boost off of the second hit with the Labramon, which is definitely nice for me. And then he's going to go ahead and put me to 3 by playing the Matt. Matt on play will add back a purple Digimon slash option card. So we're actually going to grab the Dex Dorugoramon, putting me to 3 memory, and start with 3 memory. Of course, should technically be at 4 here because of the Cody. You guys will see in a second, it's not going to change anything. But again, I do apologize for the misplay. We are going to evolve into Sakuyamon, swing over the Labramon, so right here I should be at 1, and then I'll play Pulsemon for essentially 2, playing him for 3, gaining the memory, so putting my opponent to 1 effectively, but of course Matt starts him at 3 regardless, so it's not really going to change anything whatsoever. But now we got a Sakuyamon on field. And then here we were just deliberating a little bit, seeing that it didn't actually change anything, and so our opponent is just going to go ahead and start with the Dracmon in the breeding area. Pretty strong effect there as far as the inherited goes. And then we're going to go Dex Dorugamon for a cost of 3. Definitely not what you want to see, but if it was his only level 4, it definitely is going to help him get up into the Matador slash Grandracmon. So we are actually just going to see another Dracmon play for a cost of 3, revealing some cards. Again, seeing the Dex Dorugoramon there. Labramon, I don't actually remember its type, so I'm not sure if you can add it, but seeing as it's bottom deck, I don't think you can. So we're just going to go ahead and trash the level 6 there, leaving me with 3 memory. going to 4 because of the Cody, and then this time I've got Sakuya. Pulsemon is going to go into the Kazimon for essentially free because we're going to go for 2 and then pop the memory boost. Then going to go ShineGreymon for 3, go back down to 1, and then play the TK for a 0 cost. There being able to look at security as well, since the red ShineGreymon does trigger the on-play effects of Tamers. Definitely one of the reasons why I like him so much as opposed to the yellow one, but yellow one is really powerful, of course, because of Sec Attack +1. So we are going to take the Rapidmon from the security stack there, recovering 1, shuffling up our security, sitting on the board with 2 Tamers, so we are going to actually go into the Sunrise Buster, playing a Cody, deleting the Dracmon, and then drawing 1 off of the Viximon. So Sunrise Buster, really insane card, definitely one of the best option cards that yellow, or I guess ShineGreymon, has access to in general. Really powerful stuff, being able to play a Tamer as well. So we are going to give the Dorugamon there the -3 Sec Attack from the Sakuyamon, and then going to go ahead into the Dex Dorugamon, going to Digivolve for a cost of 4. He will be able to pitch a card to be able to gain back 1 memory. There's so going to go back to 1, but of course we don't got Retaliation Blocker or any sort of other bonus effect since we weren't Digivolved from trash. And if he does go something like a Grandrac, or maybe like another Golfmon or something, we're not going to be able to, or he's not going to be able to really do much with that. So we do have a Digimon here that really can't check security. Next turn, I will probably be able to hit it with a Shine or maybe a Sunrise Buster to be able to out it. So our opponent is really put on a clock here. He needs to answer my Sakuyamon, especially now that we've got the 3 Tamer threshold. So we are going to just evolve into the Grandracmon to pass the turn, putting me to 3, and then I will start with 5. And of course, Grandracmon Evolve will bring back the Dracmon to get the extra pluses. Again, that combo is just so nasty, being able to set up for another Grandracmon with it. I am at 5 with the Patamon on field. Going to go into the Rapidmon that we added off the TK the following turn, or the previous turn. And then going to gain back a memory off the Patamon since the Dracmon's deleted. Going to swing into the Grandracmon. It is -7,000, so sitting at 5k. Definitely weaker than Rapidmon's 6k there. Going to check 2 cards with the Sakuyamon. Of course, Calling from Darkness, going to be able to add that card to the hand here, but I'm really just chilling, going to expand my board a little bit more with the ShineGreymon X, playing the TK, of course getting the plus off of that, and then grabbing the ShineGreymon to answer any potential threats that we are going to see the next turn. Going to swing ShineGrey X into security there, and then just pass turn with another Cody to put my opponent to 3. So have an absolutely ridiculous board here. Going to start at 6 next turn, have lethal on board with the Sakuyamon. So our opponent is just going to start digging into his decks, hopefully drawing to like a Dexmon or something, and there we go, Dexmon for effectively free because I've got so many things on field. Gonna devolve the whole field and then delete the Patamon there. Of course, another Dexmon would be really nasty here. But with the fact that I've still got double ShineGreymon on field, it will be a little bit difficult for my opponent to out this board unless he's got another Dexmon or maybe something like a Fly Bullet or something, but I'm pretty sure he's not playing any sort of defensive cards. So we are going to just see Matadormon, and then I'm going to go ahead and start my turn with the 6 memory from Triple Cody. As long as I've got a single hybrid here, I should be able to close it out. We've also got ShineGreymon, Sakuyamon, so just to play a little bit safe, I'm going to go Sakuyamon for a cost of 3. Going to swing into the security check 2. Of course, we do have the effect from Sakuyamon to minus the Sec Attack of the Digimon in my opponent's security, and then just going to go into a game here. I was thinking going ShineGreymon, but of course that prevents me from going hybrids if need be. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the video. ShineGreymon, really powerful deck, I think, this format. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.